different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, we come alive. We come alive. Oh, we come alive. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. What's your weakness? What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the night. story? What's your sign? It's like
Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay today. It's been a long Tuesday for I think everybody, but we've had some good growth here, and that's the number one thing I would say is good about today. Um, Before we start talking about Bitcoin, hey everybody, Island Time, Michael, the Awkward Sensei, and Tony, E-Trev, Nightbot even, Relax with Ingrid, Roman, and Max Power. Hope you guys all doing okay. I think I said hi to Tony, but just in case I didn't, hey again, Tony. All right. But today's actually pretty interesting today, guys. We had a little bit of a bump. We didn't really do much off of what we saw yesterday. We're still kind of dealing with some of those resistance levels we talked about. But at this point in time, guys, it seems like Bitcoin wants to have at least another day of moving here. In fact, we don't really have to look too much about what's going on today as far as the weekly charts are concerned. What we'd be paying attention to right now is the 5 minute chart here or the 15 minute. We're getting higher and higher above this Ganfeng level. We can break above it quite often, but we need to have that big boost out of it. I'm hoping we can have a strong move. That'll give us a nice little that'll give us some breathing room, most likely up towards $35,000, maybe even up at or just 37, 38, maybe even $40,000. Even though 40,000, I think it'd be more of a wick type of move, like a big pop. But right now, guys, we talked about this before as far as the other Fibonacci level that we were watching right here, excuse me, Ganfeng level. We consolidated for a few hours. This is a 4 hour chart. We consolidated for a while before popping up and having that big move. I think we're looking at something similar here, or maybe a rejection getting hammered down. But at least for now, we're going in this general direction, and we have had 9 bad weeks. I think we are due for one really good week here before we start coming back down here a little bit, okay? But so far, we're testing it out pretty well. Some resistance up here. Had some volume that pushed us up. We got knocked back down, just like we did here. There is a level of resistance around this level. People are trying to keep us from breaking out above it. But if we are able to, then we have a good shot up, at least going back up towards $35,000, which would be really nice to see, unless some type of whale kind of just whacks us down. But I'm pretty optimistic of what I'm seeing right now here, guys. And hey, Bideford, happy to see you as well. Some of those resistance levels, just so you guys know them again, I'm not going to worry too much about this one up here at $38,000. If we get anywhere close to that, I'll remind you guys. But for now, not really in my purview. Maybe in 2 or 3 weeks, if this bear market rally were to continue, that might actually be a realistic point of resistance for us. Right? But for now, it's not really that realistic. Going over here to the other Ganfeng level, these ones are from, if I can find out properly, the lows of 2018 bear market going up to the highs of the 69,000 point during 2021. But on this one's actually pretty interesting here, guys. This one is right up here at about 32,675, and this is kind of more of where that selling zone I was talking to you guys about. Was right around here ish. That was a weird kind of way to do this. I was going to draw a box, but there you go. Somewhere around here. I think there's going to be a big level of resistance around this area here, but if we manage to pop above it, that's where I'm going to start selling some of my longs here, just a little bit that I bought, like a day ago. I didn't really catch on to the first big bump, but I bought on the second one. So I'll be excited to see where we go from here. But just so you guys know, we are kind of in a spot where we have, where we at? Ganfeng level at about 32,666, 3266 or 326, just think of that. And we have one right here at about 3171, 761. So we're kind of stuck in this little bit of a range here, and I think that's why we haven't had a quick pop off yet, just because our next level of resistance happens to be 32.6, 32.6, right around this area right here. So I'm wondering if people aren't giving this too much thought, or you can see they're giving it thought here by how we're getting rejected by the sign multiple times, but it seems like this is where the majority of the resistance is going to be facing us, unless we get some type of sizable pop from a whale, which is what led us here in the first place, of course, but that's what I'm really waiting for. So I do have a few longs opened up right now. I'm waiting to see if we can have a nice pop up. My stop loss is pretty uh, small. It's just if we come back here to 30,600 or so. I was about to do the peak up here. Yeah, right up here. If we fall down here, my stop losses will trigger. I'll lose some money, but that's the bet I'm taking right now in anticipation that maybe we can have a big pop up above this this particular Ganfeng level right here. All right. And that's the 8 to 1 in case somebody actually wants to do that. That could be a little annoying. But okay. That's what I'm looking at right now. I like the way the chart's looking up. And you can see right now, we've seen this pattern every so often. We have a big pop. We kind of consolidate for one day, finish off green and not red. That's important. And then what we do is we have a following surge. And over the next few days, that surge could bring us into contact with the 50-day moving average, which at this point in time is around 34,698, which I really do enjoy, guys. I think that could be a good level of resistance for us as well. But of course, what we're waiting for is to just have a big pop that breaks us out of both of those Ganfin levels that I just talked about. That's going to be crucial for us. If you guys go over here to the 4-hour chart, I think this is where a lot of the meat is of where the technical analysis you guys will be doing is done. We're simply just trying to get above those Ganfin levels, but let's be frank, not many people like to nerd out about technicals like I do, so not many people are going to be using actual Ganfin levels for the levels of resistance, even though they're a little bit more precise than a moving average. That 200 moving average right there on the 4-hour chart is what we're trying to break out above. I think we have a good shot of breaking out above it right now. I have a stop loss set in place for just a few percent below, so if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at this point in time, I like the move we're making. I think we should have a stronger move here in the next few hours. I would hope it doesn't take until tomorrow morning to have a whale kind of come in here and give us a boost like this size or that size right there. I think that's similarly what we're looking for right now, guys. That's it. And then we will start worrying about the level of resistance up here, or the level of resistance if we manage to get back up here towards 35,000, which is around the 50-day moving average. Okay. Short term here, I'm gonna give it some time to consolidate, but I really want to see a pump sometime before midnight Pacific time if possible. It's not going to be a bummer if it doesn't come that fast, but I'd be hoping that, here's an hour chart. We've been consolidating for a while, still creeping up bit by bit, and all I'm waiting for is a jump like that, and a jump like that. That's all I'm looking for right now. I'm okay with letting it kind of go hours without doing much stuff, but eventually it seems like there's a power at B, a whale, that's trying to pump Bitcoin up a little bit, and I'm happy to see that. So far, I wanted to check out this with you guys as well today. Oops, misspelled something. That's fine. I didn't check this out today. Whale number 3 has still not sold off any Bitcoin. He usually sells off before a dump, which is pretty interesting. And this last time he sold and bought within a few hours, so we really didn't use that as a major determining factor. Okay, but based on that, I think Bitcoin's in a good position right now to go up higher, especially if we have a whale kind of help us out. As far as some of the other coins we've been looking at today or this past week, we got Ethereum right here. Ethereum actually had a red day yesterday. It was actually pretty interesting. I was surprised about that. I think because they have that new merger coming in, people are just a little bit more skittish about it. If that merger does not go well, Ethereum will just have a pretty rough day. You can actually see, in fact, Ethereum actually broke down below its Fibonacci level, means that this is actually more bearish around here. But for now, since Bitcoin is controlling the way, that'll help out Ethereum at least get back up to maybe 2,100 or so. If we can see Bitcoin just break above that 200 weekly, that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, excuse me. That's what I'm looking for now as far as that. And we managed to somehow close right below the 20-day moving average again. I think, again, we have another opportunity here because we did close down below it to have a little bit more of a pump up here. For now, though, guys, I would not be hopping ahead first into Ethereum until... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Where's my trend line? There you go. Just waiting for a simple breakout like this. According to this one, Ethereum might not break out for another 8 to 16 hours. So maybe I'm wrong about that Bitcoin time frame I just told you guys about. Sometimes they like to time each other up pretty well. And then we're looking for a breakout there. But if I was looking for a breakout for Ethereum, that would be the breakout right there. Give it some time to consolidate, okay? As far as Dogecoin is concerned, it's been doing okay. Here's the 4-hour chart. Strong growth. You can see it got saved. Dogecoin got saved here. You can see I had been telling you guys it would be a good short opportunity if you wanted to short Dogecoin as long as it was riding above this line. But what did we talk about also during that same time frame? A lot of things that's been happening this week over the past couple of weeks is we break down, but we don't actually go from an uptrend to a downtrend. We've been going into an uptrend to a sideways trend, and I told you guys to kind of keep an eye on that. But what happened here with Dogecoin, if we go over to the 5-minute chart, this thing got shorted heavily after it broke down. So there was that big flashing warning, hey, we broke down, bad things coming, came back up a little bit, got shorted down. But after that, buyers came running in to help Dogecoin out, and then we went from the upward trend into more of a sideways trend right here, which is actually pretty interesting to watch. So I will have to adjust this trend line here. You can see how small it is right now, but it was definitely pretty interesting to kind of watch that play out today. As far as everything else, something we haven't talked a little bit about here in a while is the dollar index. Let me go over to the weekly chart so you can have everything in context here. We've started to come back down a little bit more, and you guys know that when this tends to come down, Bitcoin becomes a little bit more bearish. And it seems like it's had a little bit more lag though, which is kind of interesting. I'm still not sure if that's the high we're going to get for the year. I think we most likely will go even further there as the Federal Reserve does increase interest rates. I do think we can see the dollar index go probably up to like at least $110 levels. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe due to economic standards across the world, whatever it may be, maybe this is the high we see and we just consolidate here. But I don't think we're just going to simply run up here and just come crashing back down because the economy's still bad, inflation's still bad. We still have to battle all those types of problems, and I think in order to do that, the dollar is going to end up being stronger as a side effect of those issues. Okay. Now going off of that, here we have Matic. We don't need this right now for Matic. We'll look at the chart later on. Where we? Okay, there we go. So Matic only had one big pump up here, which I liked. It broke above the 20-day moving average. Similarly to what we talked about Bitcoin, I think Matic could have a really good pump today. My price target for Matic on this, bear market rally, which I'm going to call it here, I may be wrong. We might have found the bottom, but I don't think so. My price target is going to be somewhere between 75 cents and about, let's call it about 69 cents. Yeah, 69 cents. Somewhere in there is a level that I'd be happy to sell my Matic at, and then hope to buy it back lower as we continue to have a peak down here. Okay, or we continue to have this bear market. But for now, I think Bitcoin and a lot of these crypto coins are geared up to have a really nice day. And let me see. Let me do something here. There you go. I'm supposed to be doing something here. There we go. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, but Matic, I think it's going to be a good play here as well. ADA had a surge yesterday. I mean, sure, this could be fun to day trade, but at this point in time, I'm not really hopping into ADA because ADA over the last 2 days, like it surged up like 43%. That's already kind of had its run. I'm happy with it, but I'm not really buying any more of it. At this point, I consider ADA being overbought overbought here. I was buying every day some ADA over here. Well, not every day, but like every other day, basically buying some ADA, and I'm happy with it because I basically sold all of my ADA somewhere around here or something like that because they were delisted off of eToro and I had some fears about it. Now I'm starting to buy back a little bit more with a hefty discount if I do say so myself here. Just like all of you guys who are buying every day or buying a little bit here every week. All right. Otherwise than that, we have XRP, very similar type of chart at this than as Matic. There we go. Support level. As long as we can break above that Fibonacci level and that white line, I think we have a good chance of at least seeing a high of 46 cents. I think we can easily get there. Anything more than that, I'll be just happy with it, but I'm not expecting anything crazy. She kind of not doing as hot as you might like it to do. It's had a good 3-day rally. The last day it kind of did nothing here. I think it's because of these legal issues. It's just not having the strong rebound that you might expect. But so far, it's still above its 20-day moving average, and I'm happy with that move. Is there anything else I need to pay attention to here today? Ethereum Classic broke down below that move. It was a nice little day trade. But let me get out of this right now. We don't need the short-term moves here anymore. All right. I thought there might be some type of move around here, but we haven't actually broken down yet. So I'm kind of watching to see what happens. Again, when we have been breaking down over the past few days or past few weeks, excuse me, since we're in this bear market, we haven't necessarily been going straight down. We've been going sideways, just because the entire market for the past few, let's say, a couple weeks or so, has been sideways. So that's what I've been noticing a lot here, guys. There might be a short-term short, but not really. I would check out this one on the 15-minute chart as far as the Ethereum Classic. If it taps on this line, it might be a good long opportunity like it did here, like it might do in the future. You're just waiting for Bitcoin to have a surge up to really guide a lot of these altcoins up a little bit more. Anything else here? STMX, how's this doing? STMX is just doing okay. Nothing really crazy there. Finally broke above the 20 and it still has that support. I could see this resistance for STMX being around 0.0122-ish. Yeah, somewhere around there. Kind of going back over to this zone. But okay, I think that's about it for today as far as what the coins are. If you guys have any specific coins you guys want me to check out, I'd be happy to look at them. Um, Lastly, here we got Luna, Luna 2, not Luna C, Luna 2, and so far it's still continuing to consolidate here. I'd be waiting for some type of breakout over the next few days, hours, whatever you want to call it. That breakout right there is going to be something worth having some fun with. But until that happens, kind of fun to just buy and hold if you want to do that. I already sold all of my Luna. I made a decent profit. I'm happy with it. But for all of you guys who want to, hop on board this roller coaster ride, you have an opportunity to do so when it breaks out, or you can try to see if you can have some type of move like this, maybe. Um, Not entirely sure if this is going to break down or not, the consolidate and move up, or we're just going to stay within this pennant here. If we do, that's good. That's a good buying zone right here. You could always open a position right now at 864 on Luna, and then have a stop loss at 839. So let me see if I can actually do that properly here. All right, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't have to do it that complex. So here, yeah, it's about 3% stop loss. Not bad if you wanted to take the opportunity with Luna. But you would have to honor that stop loss either, by using an exchange like BitGate or KuCoin or something like that to have that stop loss in place, or be watching it like a hawk, or in worst case scenario, you guys setting an alert if the price crosses down below this trend line here, right? Crossing trend line, crossing down Luna once, and you probably just want to send it to a notification on the app or something like that if you actually use the app, right? All right, let's get back over here to Bitcoin though. There you go. Oh, and something fun I did today, everybody. Do I want to? No, we can have a Bitcoin chart up here. Um, that's a little too big. 24. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. I am in the process of making bear stew right now, and it's actually pretty well. I don't know how it's going to taste, but I assume it's going to taste really good. I hope it does. So I'm excited for that today. I spent like the majority of my morning processing bear, and then cutting up carrots, potatoes, sweet potatoes, mushrooms, garlic, bay leaves, and some other random stuff. But I'm excited for it. And hey, Starscream, happy to see you back as well, my man. Hey, Jim Bob, how we doing? So far, guys, we're doing okay. Bitcoin is geared up to have another move today. We're just waiting to see if we can specifically break above a couple things here. The Ganfeng level up here at about 32,675. That's one of the big ones here. And the other one here is going to be the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart is also going to be important right there, right? That's the really big thing we're trying to do. It may take a while for us to do it, but I'm okay with giving us some consolidation time before having a big pump up. I'm just hoping the big pump comes up sometime today. Preferably, I'd like it to happen in the next 6-7 hours, but I'm not going to be too picky right now. I have a stop loss of about 3 something percent right now. Let me go back over here. Second chart, there we go. But yeah, that's the big thing of what we're waiting for right now. Hopefully it can come to pass, because we'd all like to see Bitcoin go up for a little bit before kind of going back to the pessimism that is the bear market. Right. And hey, the Dolphin, happy to see you back as well, my man. Let me know if you have any requests for the diamond member videos. I got to make another Nvidia one here today after we had a little bit more of a choppy market, and then I need to do an Apple update as far as fundamentals pretty soon, which will be pretty fun because it's a lot more boring than everything else. And let's see. And hey, Matt, newbie here, just trying to learn stop limit orders in Robinhood. I set mine for 1736, bought at 1726. It was up to 1880 PR Ethereum at the time. I set the stop limit and I hit sell all Ethereum. So you would have to explain that a little bit differently. Any thought on what I did wrong? I don't know what the problem is. Stop limit orders on Robinhood. Is it a stop sell limit order or stop buy limit order? So you set it for 1736. It bought in at 1726. That means you got a good deal on it. Um, it was up to 1880 Ethereum at the time. I set a stop limit and I hit sell and it sold over Ethereum out. If you do a stop limit, do you just mean a limit sell order? I think that might be what you mean here, guys. Oh, hold on 1 second here. I don't use. Oh, I do not even have my Robinhood stuff open up here. Hold on a second here, guys. Um, maybe that works out. Yeah, that should. Oh no. I have a pet peeve with this type of stuff, which drives me nuts because I like to be all the same size. But every time I close and open the files, it's just not the same. Um, can I just like skip this whole process if I just type paste and go? Loopholes. All right. Now I don't really have much money in this account, as you guys know, but if you're trying to go over here to Ethereum, oh, something to buy. Oh, shucks. Hold on a second here, guys. Bloopity bloopity bloop. There you go. My glorious $1.60 in Robinhood. I keep this here just to see if fun will ever turn into anything. Um, but okay, let's go to Ethereum here, and I can show you. I can try to figure out what you're talking about here. So if you bought Ethereum, there's only so much you can do here. Because you have a limit order, a limit buy order, right? They don't really have stop limits here for Ethereum. Like if I were to go over here to like something like a Boeing, and I wanted to buy, you would see a whole like a lot longer list of like order types basically, right? So they have stop loss order, stop limit order, trailing stop order, recurring investment, limit order. So I think what you might have done is just a basic limit buy order and a basic limit sell order for Ethereum. And because you had your limit sell order less than the price that is, it viewed that as okay, I just want to get him the best price, and the best price currently is above the price that you just entered in on that that limit sell order, if that makes sense. Um, but you don't have Robinhood doesn't give you all the abilities to trade like they should be doing right now. So if I went over to a KuCoin or a BitGet or a Femex or a Binance US or any of the other more public exchanges out there, you'd be a lot of them, not all of them. A lot of them would have different types of market orders for you guys. That'd be more helpful. But as far as Robinhood's concerned, they have all these orders, but it's only for stocks. You're not going to be able to do this type of stuff on crypto for Robinhood right now. And if you guys use the app Robinhood instead of the website, I think if you click on this type of stuff, it should have some type of like little animation kind of showing you what's going on. I anticipated this a long time ago when I was just setting up my channel. I think I made some videos about it, so let me check it out very fast, and I can just send you to the video that's is important. My channel videos. Now these are videos from way back in the day here, so I definitely need to probably put these in a playlist or something like that. Ba-do. My gosh, we've had so many Bitcoin sell-offs, haven't we? Um, Option flow data, breakouts. Ah, okay. So, see, here's a tutorial on the stop limit
Hey
order.
everyone, today I'm
I
going
don't
to show
think
you
you
guys
guys
how
can
to
hear
buy
this.
a
Maybe
stock
you guys
using a
can, or
stop
you
limit
guys
order.
can. Let me just turn that off really quick. Um, but basically, just if I'll let this play here. If you guys do it and you guys go to choose one of these options here, if you click on the little eye in the top right hand corner, it shows you something like this. Well, it kind of explains in a very easy to understand way within Robinhood, which most people don't do. It shows you that the first time you do this, the order, it'll give you that little example, but every following time you have to click on the eye. So go back there, check on the eye, and see if it helps you out. But you're not going to be able to do this on non-crypto. I mean, on crypto currencies within the Robinhood app. You can only do them on stocks within the Robinhood app, which is kind of unfortunate. Which is why I will always employ you guys, when you guys are ready, start figuring out what your next platform is going to be. If you only want to trade stocks, you have a good way. You would probably want to go towards TD Ameritrade, or you'd want to be going towards, a Fidelity or something like that. Or if you want to just take a small step up, you can always go to Webull, and Webull's fine too. If you want to get more serious about crypto exchanges and crypto investing, right, then I would say you'd want to go over towards a KuCoin, a Binance US, a BitGet. Those type of exchanges are going to help you out a lot more. There's also Fimex, there's Bybit if you're in Europe. I mean, there's a whole sloth of them, right? A whole sloth of crypto exchanges. Figure out which one kind of fits your style a little bit better, and then you can go from there. I like BitGet, KuCoin, Fimex. I got a lot of them, and they all kind of serve their specific purposes. But I think it'd be good to start looking at them. Make an account if you want to. You don't have to, but usually you can just go to any exchange not signed in, and you can kind of look around and see what they have to offer. And then if you want to make any trades, they'll say, "Hey, register here," that type of stuff. But you don't have to register. You can just go over there and peek and see what you like. Also, there's tons of YouTube tutorials out there giving you ideas of what type of exchanges are going to work best. But if you want to have those tools that you need to become a successful trader, you're not going to really find them on Robinhood just yet, but Robinhood is definitely an okay place to start as you kind of learn the basics, and then from there you can find out where, which exchange kind of tickles your fancy or whatever you want to call it. All right, so all right, take another sip of my apple juice water bottle. Oh, water's good. All right, I need to steal back all my water bottles from my mom. I literally have so many expensive water bottles because they keep the water cold forever. My mom has taken every single one of mine because I bought them off of QVC and she loves QVC. All right, um, and limit sell. Let's see. Oh, so yeah. Say stop limit is not the same as limit sell. Stop limit is not the same as limit sell. That's what it is. So when you do a limit sell order, you're just telling the exchange what is the minimum amount you'd be willing to sell this off for. So if the current price is below the stop limit order, or if the current price is above the stop limit order, that means the price is above it, which means you're going to be happy taking that price, right? And so that's why it's sold it automatically. Now, if the price is below it and you have a stop limit order, then it won't sell it until the price reaches that order, that limit, and then it'll sell it at that market price for you. Okay. If there's a lot of volume, oops. If there's a lot of volume, then you'll be able to get rid of that trade pretty fast. If there's not a lot of volume and not a lot of liquidity, you may have to wait a few tries of people buying before your shares are sold off, and that really is determined on how many shares you're actively trying to sell. So if I'm trying to sell $50 or $100 worth of Bitcoin at a 10x leverage, right? That can be very easily bought off the exchange. But if I want to sell off a $500,000 worth of Bitcoin at a 10x leverage, well, that's going to take a little bit more time to eat up. And that's usually what you see in Bitcoin. You see those walls up there. We don't have many walls here on the second chart. But those walls where the price is just kind of going steady, 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 waiting to break out above it. That's because a limit order is being chewed off right there, or a short is being chewed off there, depending on if somebody's trying to sell those coins or shares onto the market. All right. And hey, Patel, anything on ADA? ADA looks fine to me right now. I'm really not chasing it. ADA had a wonderful bounce, and I don't think I want to chase that bounce right now. Um, am probably going to sell off. I haven't done it yet. I have a limit order actually placed for ADA now, talking about that. I'm probably going to sell off some of my ADA here over the next day or so, probably even some tonight. And then I'm going to be hoping to buy in some more later on when we enter back into this bear market period, which I think is happening. So don't just do my strategy because we might not be back into a bear market, or we might not go back down for some time. I'm not entirely sure, right? But as far as I'm looking at 88, I don't want to chase it right now. I bought some a few days ago. I've been happy with the returns it's given me, but I feel no reason to be adding to my position right now. If you guys do not have a position in ADA right now, I still think you can go for it. Just be careful, and you want to have some type of stop loss there, because whenever Bitcoin does turn around, whenever it happens, the coins that have popped off the most over the last few days or in the next week or so as well, if we continue this move, those are going to be the coins that fall the hardest. Think of FTM, Doge, and things like that, even Sheep. When they pump up hard, they will crash just as hard once Bitcoin starts to fall. So just be aware of that, okay? All right. And hey, Trev, what about Nvidia? What about Nvidia? Let me know if you want me to do technical analysis on it or talk about what it did today specifically. And hey, Bideford. Talking about K. There we go. And hey, Miss K. Happy to see you back as well. Let's see. And took the words. Oh, so it is technical. Okay. Sorry, I get confused sometimes if I just see a ticker. I'm like, what exactly about it? Because I can talk about tickers for a while here. So we talked about Nvidia. I know on that one video the other day or 2 days ago maybe. Let's go back over here very fast. So today, Nvidia really didn't do too much. We kind of had a little bit more of a curl. I bought some calls, those 195 calls I talked to you guys about before. I bought them and they expired not this Friday, but next Friday. I'm going to see where they go. I want to see if this rally will continue on itself right now. We have had some weird economic data as far as housing and consumer price index type of stuff and how people are feeling about the economy. Not too much new, not too much different here. So on the weekly chart, we started out the week a little bit red. I'm fine with that. Now let's move over to the daily chart for Nvidia here. All right. What I see in the short term here is more of a level of support kind of just around that base area of $160. I'm not going to hold my options anywhere near that point in time. My goal here is just to get up towards $195 to $200, maybe if I'm lucky up to $210, which we talked about in that for other video. Short-term level of resistance we have to face is around $203. That's, from candle perspective, that's the resistance I'm looking at here. Now, what I did earlier was I went over to the 4-hour chart and I tried to see if this would work out for me. We went lower, so I wasn't too excited about this, but I gave it a try. And so what I use is the Fibonacci extension tool here. Find a low, find the high, and there we go. We did reach the price target here of 1. What I'm hoping for up here is that blue level, the 197 level, kind of around the 2 level right there. That's really my selling zone, and I think I told you guys in the diamond level member video, anything really above like the $200 level is kind of a sweet spot for me if I want to like hold anything else, hold any more options off. I'll be looking to see if we can come back into the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, and then specifically on the daily chart, if we get lucky, maybe the 50-day moving average. But that would probably take 2 to 3 more days at least before it comes back into contact with this resistance level down here. So that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm hoping that as I look at the 4-hour chart, let me get rid of all this stuff here again. What's an easy way to do this? We can really just kind of break out of this trend right here, this downward trend. I know it. No, something more like that. Let me get rid of the extended hours here. I'm hoping that we breaking out of something like this will lead us to a little bit more of a pop over the next few days. That's my hope. Be more careful with this play, guys, as well, just because the market has been very choppy. That's why I've been telling you guys I've been more happy to day trade. But right now, I want to trade this breakout and see where it takes me. On the 4-hour chart, it actually worked out pretty well here, but the breakout happened, last week, of course, last Friday, after we had that big boom. But I'm hoping over the next, probably by this Friday, to at least be up in the 190s again. If we can get back up to the 190s, I'd be happy with that. Partway through the day, we were up there for a little bit. We were up kind of neutral during midday. Then we started coming back down here a little bit as the market just kind of cooled down, you would say. Take a look at the FinViz. See how we kind of peaked up for a while, and then we went sideways, or somewhat down, I guess you would say. Same thing happened with Nvidia. Now, 1 second here. Extend back to the extended trading hours. Okay. I'm hoping we're just entering a period of consolidation, then following tomorrow, have a nice little pop. I don't know how big that pop would be, but I'm hoping over the next few days to get back into that 190 range, 195, and then start selling around 195 or so to 200. Depending on how the market looks, I may keep some hoping for a $200 plus, but for now, my price target is really around 195 to 200. Okay, above 200, I might have 10% of my calls left over. But I did a like $700 investment into this one today. So I'm hoping it'll do pretty well here. Yeah, just hoping to see it have some type of a good move here. Boop-a-doo. But you guys could always add that Fibonacci extension tool on there, and just I'm not aiming for one right now because we already hit it. I think because we're in a bear market rally, that's what I think what's happening right now as far as the stock market's concerned. I think that's going to be a good target for us. So just like how we did with Bitcoin, depending on, well, it depends on how you look at Bitcoin here because you could always do different Fibonacci extension levels here. Um, Sometimes you hit the white level early, and then you got to think about, I wonder if we're going to find another level of resistance somewhere close by. Like for this one, if we go to the weekly one, we hit the price target very early on in this bull market rally. We hit this one as a resistance up here. Then we got choppy about here. But you could definitely go higher than that if you want to. I actually don't ever go higher than that, but I think I could add some levels to it. No. Do any go higher? I don't think any do. Huh. Oh, some do. Okay, but not good enough if you ask me. Nah, not good enough. Okay. All right, and then what you guys could also do for this one here is if you wanted to go Mondo, which Wombo I think is the term. You could even go from the lows of 2015 up to the highs, and then go all the way down to the low here. Um, did I get the low here? I did not. And you can see where we get choppy. We kind of run up against some of these levels, and some of these levels ended up being able to support. But rarely do I care about it that much. You could see it having way more of an effect on the white line and below here. So some resistance around here, some resistance here, resistance, clear resistance, clear resistance. Um, Broke above it, then we started kind of gearing up after that clear breakout there. Um, but again, this is just, you don't have to do that. That's just me kind of nerding out. There are some really cool ways you guys could be using Fibonacci extension tools. I'm excited because once we freaking get out of this bear market, and to me, there are two ways to kind of figure out if we're done with the bear market. Usually, I know there's a guy out there that named Colin. He's like, welcome to the cryptoverse. Really knowledgeable guy. He thinks of the bull market coming out of this type of move, is more dealing with the 20 week moving average, like the bull market support band, is what he calls it. I agree with that a little bit, but something else that we talked about a few times here before as well is the 200 moving average on the weekly. So let me see if I can find it here. Can I find it? 200 week, yes. Oh, maybe I don't have it. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. I don't have it on this chart. That's fine. I can just add it right here. Let's go to, it's the 200 EMA is what I'm talking about. You guys know that, but thought I had it on my chart for some reason. I guess I did not. So let's turn that back to orange here. Let's make that line thick. Inputs, and let's go to 200. So we have the 200 EMA now. Now, oh God, I'm missing something really bad here because it's not the 200 EMA apparently. What is this? 200 EMA. There's a level of resistance that we break down below, and then as soon as we break out above it, we're usually pretty well off. I don't exactly remember what that level is. Is it just the 100? No, it's not the 100. Let me go back and check one of my charts again here. Load chart layout, and let's go with a not diamond, not main Bitcoin Gans. Not that one. I guess not. That is strange. If any of you guys remember that moving average I use, let me know. It's it's a moving average that goes like this. If you guys remember it, I'll just draw it for now. It's like that. And when we break above it, we normally just have a full on gear up move and we just pop. Um, I thought it was the 200 EMA, but apparently it's not. 200 chart, weekly, daily. Oh, that's the red line I just drew. I thought it was like, oh, that could have been it. Nope. All right. Well, I'll figure it out later. But there's that moving average that we talked about. Usually, when we pop above that, that's usually when I'm really happy, and that's when I really want to start buying more aggressively. On kind of a pump up technique as far as like going along on a specific swing trade. That's the golden time to do it. But for the life of me, I just don't know why it's not. I don't see why it's not the same as before. Because the 200 EMA, I know we bounced off of that, but that's not the. There it is. Why why is that different for each chart? So okay, on Bitcoin US dollar, it's useless. But on Bitcoin US dollar on on Coinbase it's worthless. On the index chart, it's not useless. We're going off of this chart only. I apologize. I have never actually seen something like that happen before, which is pretty odd because I do this quite a bit. But yeah, the 200 EMA on the Bitcoin US dollar 1 week index trading view chart, apparently, you can see clearly. Pop goes the dynamite, pop goes the dynamite. We haven't broken down below it yet, but if we do break down below this level and we don't continue moving back up here over the next, few months or so, I think eventually we're going to come in contact with the 200 weekly. But whenever we pop above that, that's a really good time where I start to see that bear market kind of ending here. So in this circumstance, it was kind of almost tied up with the bull market support band, as Collins calls it. Boom, right? And this one, and during COVID, as soon as we broke out above it, is this set to a week? Yeah, it is set to week. Okay. The orange line is a 200 weekly EMA. Okay. The other ones are just simply on the chart, so don't worry about these other lines here. In fact, let's take away that possibility. All right, when you start breaking above that, awesome time. And this is usually what I go off of because sometimes the market just isn't as smooth as we would like it to be. Um, but that's really what I'm paying attention to. Every time we break out above that, after having a pretty, a small consolidating period underneath it, that's when I tend to go heavy. Um, and we'll see how bad things get here over the next few weeks or so. But for now, I think we will eventually break down below this level here as the economy gets worse and people stop spending as much money, right? And frankly, as gas prices continue to get more and more expensive. Um, but, I think once we're down here, we'll be stuck down below this level for a little bit of time. But whenever we break out above it, whether it's something as quick as COVID that took just a couple weeks, or if it's something as, during the 2018 crash where we were down here for like 126 days, um, whenever we're able to break back above it, it's going to be game on, and I'll be very happy to be buying some long trade positions when I do that, right? So swing trades, day trading type of moves. As far as long-term investing, anytime you're down below this level, it's a good time to buy. Similarly, you guys know what I mean. In a similar way, when we break down below the 100 weekly moving average as well, this is where I usually start buying a little bit of crypto every single day. Buy some every day here, buy some every day here, right? Then I start getting more heavy down this road as we get closer to the 200 weekly moving average. And then from there we go. This is like this might be, you could consider this being more of a soft buying zone, more of an aggressive buying zone, but as soon as we break above this, you kind of get back into that soft buying zone, so you guys can keep on buying more and more as the rally kind of goes up, or you guys can start doing more trades where you guys are like, well, now that I just bought like a couple $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, I bought some ADA, I bought some Matic, whatever, then you guys can start saying, well, maybe I can buy a 10x leverage play on Bitcoin and just kind of wait and sit and watch the price go up. That's what normally happens, and you're going to make a lot more money with that 10x leverage play than you will with Bitcoin, right? And depending on how you guys want to trade that, because a lot of the times when we do have those stronger moves, let me see if I can show you here. We tend not to take too much time. Let me go to the daily chart so you can see a little more accurately. Usually when we break up out above this, we don't have to spend too much more time around this level, so your nerves aren't going to be as all over the place after we break out. So let's say you had a 10x leverage play and you actually bought the end of the day. So once we actually closed above the 200 EMA. Well, at the worst of it, we went down 8%. So that means your trade would be down 80% if you did a 10x long, right? So that can be scary for a lot of people, which is why I tell you guys to start doing paper trading first to get your emotions under control. Because once we close back above this, as long as we've had a few days to really, consolidate underneath it, COVID being the shortest time period here, um, you know, once you get back up to what after 11 days, yeah, well, let's say 14 days after 2 weeks time, we never came back down to that price. We never came back down to it, right? We just started going on a rocket ship. So if you guys can hold throughout that period of time, you guys will be fine. But practice it before you do it. Going back over to more realistic things, how we used to work it out when during normal bear markets when COVID was not a factor. You can see here, you got to give it some time to consolidate. You're not going to just be buying it on the first kind of pop up if it just has a big relief rally here, like a dead cat bounce, so to speak. You want to do it after we've been consolidating for weeks, at least weeks here. Normally, COVID is kind of a special exception, like I said. But you can see, this is a daily chart. We broke above it a few times, but we never closed above it, never closed above it. And then the first day we closed above it, it was just a small little pop, but we closed above it. And then from there, if you bought right there, it went down of maybe a few percent, and then it never came back down there for a while, right? So just keep that as a mindset here. That 200 EMA is going to be very, very important. I think you should start seeing more people on YouTube and maybe more people on TikTok and Twitter start talking about it a little bit more. But I don't think it's not going to be too big of a thing until we actually start breaking down below it. Because right now we're in what I would call a bear market rally, where we're still in a bear market. Over time, we will come back down, like Bitcoin has been doing for the past few months here. There's been a lot of traps, but we all have enough greed in our systems where we want to risk some money to make some profit on these little bit of traps, right? Um, and let me go back over here very fast. Let me take away this EMA here, and let's go to the 100 weekly EMA. I cut that out as well. And then is this chart? Yeah, it's fine. Okay. All right, let me see right here. Is there an exchange that has a good mix of crypto and stocks that will allow you to trade up or down even if you don't have 25K in your account? Not for stocks. Crypto is nice because there is no pattern day trading rule, so that is something to be very happy about. Uh, I don't use any exchanges that do both. I have a high quality, which I think TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is a very high quality exchange, and I like them for stocks and options. As far as crypto, I have multiple exchanges because I like using different exchanges for different things. Um, I'd recommend you sign up for BitGet, KuCoin, maybe Binance US, maybe Femex, maybe another one if you want to. But you want to try out those exchanges first to see how you like them. It's not a problem to you to just toss in, I don't know, $100 to an account and see where it goes. And as you get more used to a lot of these other accounts, you realize how much easier it is to transfer money. So a lot of exchanges like a Coinbase or a Voyager, they really want you guys to specifically use, I don't know if they still like it, but they usually like you to use the Ethereum blockchain to really transfer your crypto over, and that usually comes with a $25 fee. Well, on BitGet or on KuCoin, when I'm exchanging money over to different wallets, right? They only charge me $1 if I go through the Tron network. I never use the Ethereum network unless I absolutely have to. I don't. I feel no need to do it. I feel no need whatsoever. Why would I pay $25 when another exchange is saying, "Hey, just use the Tron network. It's only $1." There's no other more. It's not more complicated or anything else. So it does help out with fees in that nature. So that's why I told you guys, KuCoin, BitGet, it's a lot easier. Don't use Coinbase. Coinbase sucks out all of your money through fees, and I am like fees. And on top of that, Coinbase doesn't even give you $1 back for every USDC coin. They sell it for like 0.999, what's that, 0.995 or something like that. So they're skimming money off of the top of your stable coin, which makes no sense to me. Just give me the money that's in my stable coin, right? If I sell $100 worth of USDC, I would want $100 to hit my account. That does not happen when you sell USDC on Coinbase, which really irritates me. I'm frugal. Even though I make good money, I am still frugal. I don't like companies that do that. There's no reason for them to do that. The only reason is they're an app, and that people so far have seemed like, well, I'm okay with them taking money that way. There hasn't been a big backlash to it. If there is a big backlash for it, maybe something good could happen. They start stealing all the money with fees. Because nobody ever understands how, like, if you guys trade actively on Coinbase, it does suck out money constantly. And that's where I like using futures and stuff like that, because even futures fees, like when I trade leverage, it's still somehow cheaper than the fees on Coinbase, which is absolutely insane if you think about it, right? Coinbase fees should be cheaper than if I'm asking to borrow money from an exchange to make a trade, but it's not. So be careful with Coinbase. But yeah, test out a bunch of exchanges. You're going to have plenty of opportunities, but don't feel like you have to rush the process. Take your time, go through one exchange at a time. They all have pretty flashy web pages, all do. And then from there, it's your job to kind of figure out which one is going to fit your needs the best. And if you don't like it after signing up, just move your money to another account. It costs $1 on Tron, right? So I don't know, like oh, there's YouTube videos that talk about all that type of stuff, but you guys get it. But okay, please make sure to like the channel and like the video, and please make sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already. And on top of that, please make sure to comment as much as possible. I'm testing out some stuff with the algorithm this week again, and so far I have learned that the more you guys comment, the more you guys like the video, the more you guys subscribe, and whatever. The better, the more this video is shown across YouTube. So I really do appreciate that, you guys, a lot. All right, now what's right here? And hey, Jay, can I look at sushi? Yeah, I'm taking a look at sushi in a minute here. I bought some sushi, I think last week I was telling you guys about that, but I don't know. It's at 183. I mean, it's had a few good days of popping up here. I like that it's above a support level here. What am I looking at here? As far as the last 2 days, popped up about 30%. I like that. What I'd be looking for now for a lot of these coins, specifically like sushi included, if the day we break down below these levels, this is most likely when I'm going to think that Bitcoin's kind of teetering off a little bit more. But I'll have to be looking at, I will have to be looking at Bitcoin's charts on top of that. Right now, though, probably the best thing to be looking at for a lot of these charts is just going over to the 4-hour chart. Right now, we have broken above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. We're using that as a base level of support, as well as this other support level over here. So I like what we're seeing. We could actually already just put another support level kind of right down here as well, but that one kind of it didn't honor itself as much as I wanted it to. That's why I moved this one up here a little bit more. However, let me show you guys something here. There we go. Price target for sushi right now would probably would be, I hope, to get back up towards about $2.07. We've already found some resistance up here. Also found a little bit of support actually at this Fibonacci level here, and some resistance up here as well. So this one's actually been honoring it fairly well. So if we do manage to break above this 193 level, I'll be happy about that. And then from there, around $2 is probably where I'd sell some off or shave off some of my sushi so I can take some profits, and then hope that we can dip back down over time, because Bitcoin, in my estimation, so it's still in a bear market, so we should still be coming down. I'll be able to buy more sushi for a cheaper price. So my main goal is not to really make money off of this sushi play in particular. It's more to just accumulate more sushi coins for the long term run of during this long term cycle. Excuse me. Burnout, that's what I'm looking at right here. Fibonacci extension tool, crucial for some of these plays here. Hopefully we can reach number one before we break down this white line here as well. Okay. That's fine right there. Okay. And thanks for commenting, guys. I really do appreciate it. Um, throw some shekels my way, and I'll drop 125x too. What do you call it? 125x leverage play? It can be very risky. You got to have a good amount of money in your account there to kind of cover some of that leverage. You don't want to be doing too much on 125x leverage, because it can really wreck you in a hurry. 10x only. I do 125x. Oh my gosh, yeah. Um, oh, sorry, I missed a question by Miss K. Um, Mike Path, can you please look into the stock, see if it has potential? Let me check it out first on Finviz so I can see what actually it's about and sector wise. So it's software infrastructure, $17. It's leveled off. Yes, so far it seems like it'd be fine as far as what I'm looking at now. Let me do some technicals in a second here. Market cap of 9.4 billion, kind of around Robinhood market cap. What do they do? We're UiPath. We make software robots so people don't have to be robots. So long time. On Monday, people got better work. They built tools. They work more efficiently. Okay. Put fun back in work. Oh geez, they have a whole freaking thing they can do with yeah. Um yeah, automated. Oh shit, they're one of those people that will take jobs. Okay, so yeah. Fundamentally wise, I haven't looked into their like 10K or anything like that, but I think this is actually a good company. That I'd be look. I'm going to be spending some more time looking at here, especially since it has a very tiny market cap, 10 billion ish, kind of small if you ask me when it comes to technology and software. Okay, let's go over here to Path. But so far, I like it. I like it. Now let's go over to the New York Stock Exchange here. Let's go to the daily chart. Let's hop off of Bitcoin for a second. Bitcoin should pop off in a little bit. So far since it opened up, just bad luck of opening in a bull market, so to speak. It started off pretty well. Ever since their earnings have just been seem to be okay, 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 right. Um, and you're seeing the price continue to come down here. So as far as a long term play, I kind of like what I'm seeing here. On a short term basis, though, well, as far as a long term, because of what they do, I'm sure they'll get more money as soon as the market recovers. But I wouldn't be buying this necessarily until I can really see the market find a good bottom. And that's, maybe we come into contact with a 200 weekly moving average. Maybe the NASDAQ breaks down below it. Maybe we enter a full on bear market. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, what I'm looking at here, let me probably go to 4 hour chart. Yeah, I would hope that tomorrow we bounce up and we do not start breaking down below this. Because if we do, that's going to open up. There's not going to be a real good reason to be actually entering this trade right now. As far as long term, yeah, I think this is nice. But if we do break down below this tomorrow, we're at least going to go into a sideways trend, if not a full on downward trend. And that would not be too good for this one here. On the hour chart, let's see. On the hour chart, we're still doing fine. 4 hour, maybe not, but the hour chart was still looking okay. Maybe I could put it to regular trading hours. Yeah, it makes it a little bit easier. So far, I would like to see us have a little bit more of a bounce, then start moving back up here above the 200 moving average in the 1 hour chart. Then hopefully on the 4 hour chart, get back above the 200 up here. My thing is why? Oh, there we go. A little bit more volume picking up too. It's not too bad, yeah. One concern here is I just saw this earnings is coming up at the June 8th of next month. No, yeah, June 8th of next month. So that'll be something I'm watching for here as well. But right now, we just want to see a nice little pop and see it continue on the move. That might be a good reason to buy some options, but I would only be trading it for maybe 1 to 2 days here, hoping for a nice little pop here. So this is a 4 hour chart, so you can have a little bit more of a reversal. That reversal is probably what I would want to trade. And then if I had some extra calls I just wanted to stay on top of, then maybe I would leave about 10% on the table, then kind of ride that back up. But I don't even know if the calls would be worth it here, just because the price is $17. Usually, when I trade options, the price of the security is usually around $100 plus. Sometimes below that, but most of the time not. So it is optionable. It is shortable. I would be aiming for if the options go by dollar amounts, I'd be aiming for maybe a seven. No, it's $17 now. $18 strike price. If it goes by fives, I'd probably have to go with a $20 strike price. Expiration 2 to 3 weeks out because depending on what the price is at, right? How they structure the options, but I think long term this would be something good to hold on to. It looks like a company that can do a lot of like I don't know if they can do it just yet. It looks like they're making headway into different sectors, and just by going down to the bottom of the page, I mean, you know, looks like they have their toe in a lot of stuff here. And when they have their toe in a lot of stuff, they usually have some good partnerships that they can take advantage of. So I like it overall. There we go. There we go. Okay. And hey, Tony, do I see it keep going up? Right now, it looks like Bitcoin wants to continue going up. My thing with Bitcoin right now is it still is a bear market. So, what we've been seeing over the past few days here, the past few weeks here, if you guys want to talk about this, is since we've been in this bear market for a while here, right? Well, we tend to have these nice pops, but they're always preceded by a big drop, a big drop, a big drop, a big drop. Even when we finally broke out here and had a little bit of a there we go. We had a little bit of a fake out. Remember, everybody was saying breakout, breakout, buy the breakout, somewhere around here. Don't know exactly what level it was. We broke out above a certain level. I think it was actually just this level right here. and everybody was getting hyped, say buy, then all of a sudden we got shorted. We usually have that same effect over and over again. What I'm looking for right now is hopefully we can break out above something like this. This line isn't going to be correct right now, but bear with me. We can try to get back up here or something like that. That's kind of around 34,700, $35,000 levels. Because what I'm looking at right now is that's where the 50-day moving average is at. If we're looking at the Ganfeng levels, our level of resistance over here in the short term is around 32,640. That's we're gonna hit this well before we end up hitting anything like this. And then on top of that, we don't have to worry about this one. We're looking at we're still having some issues with this Ganfeng level here. We're trying to break out above it, but it seems like we're getting stuck between this level of resistance here because you can see it was pretty good level of resistance in the short term. But now we're getting caught up within this Fibonacci level up here, which is not too far away. For instance, you know, this is $700 away, 2.42%. That's going to be a big level of resistance. If we can manage to pop above this, then Bitcoin will end the 4-hour 200 moving average right here. If we can do that, then we can try to go up towards 35,000, maybe up to $38,000. But 38,000 seems kind of a stretch. Even $35,000 seems kind of a stretch. But the first step to getting to 35,000 would be a nice solid breakout above the Fibonacci level, the Ganfeng level we just talked about, the 8-to-1 on this particular chart here. And then on top of that, breaking above this 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. That's really going to be key for us going over the next few hours, okay? 24 to 36 hours, but I would hope we have a pop above that well within like the next 16 hours max, hopefully. But we'll see. All right. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go to the 15. Because we managed to pop above it. We got crashed back down after we tried to break out above it. Buyers came in. We were fine. Another group of sellers came back in. And now we're starting to slowly grind back up here. And I like to see that. Although I'd really like to see a whale lead the way here and not the average retail consumer because they don't have nearly the amount of power to make that move to happen. But, just give it some time. Yeah, no worries, Matt. Happy to help you out. I always feel like I'm going to switch exchanges if I miss out on something. I mean, that's why I like BitGet. That's why I usually tell you guys to do BitGet, and primarily just because they have a paper trading within the actual exchange, so you guys can practice without actually having to put your own money in the exchange first. And if you like it, you can put money in there. If you don't like it, you don't have to put money in there, right? Same with KuCoin. I don't know if KuCoin has a paper trading stat on it, but you can kind of get a feel of it just by going on their exchange. BitGet is a lot better for beginners, I think, and as you guys evolve, you guys can stay at BitGet or you guys can go over to a KuCoin or a Binance US, something like that. But usually when you go over to these different websites, there's just so many bells and whistles. They're like, I like KuCoin, but there are tons of products on KuCoin that I will never touch, and it's just so much stuff. But some people like having all those options, So it's anybody's guess which one you're personally gonna like. Let's see. And hey, GC 2922. Let's see. And hey, Matt, happy to see you as well, my man. Let's see. Oh, messing up right here. And no worries, Etrev, happy to help you out. Let's see. And hey, Tony, guys, thanks for chatting as well. And hey, Courtney, the best on YouTube. I appreciate that, guys, as well. Got to bring in Loki for some good luck. Loki. Oh, he's like right here, but he's like sleeping, so I'm not gonna wake him up unless I have a treat for him. Hello. He just stretched out and he's saying hi in a second. Hello, Loki. Come on. He just got up and was like, and so I feel bad. Come here. Yeah, yeah. There you go. What? Yeah. No. There you go. He says hi. Yeah, yeah. Your nails on my neck hurt. Yeah. He's tired. There you go. He came for a quick little bite. You want a treat? No, he's gonna sit patiently because he knows he's sitting is the way he gets treats. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. You wanna go back to take a nap? You can go back and take a nap. I'm joking. Boo, boo. Yeah, 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 yeah. Boo. Yeah. Just give him a good little scratch in the head. Yeah, he's really zoning out with the head scratch right now. Okay, there you go. So you guys can see a little Loki for a couple seconds. Let's see. It's right here. And no worries, Jay. Happy to help you out. And hey, the dude. Check out Inverse Head and Shoulders breakout on Netflix on the daily. He just popped his butt back down to say to chill out again. Let me see. Did I do something wrong? I guess I did. I guess I always forget Netflix's ticker. Oh, FL. Okay. On the daily, it's almost to inverse head and shoulders if you ask me, just because we don't have the full on curl that I want to see here. I'm more picky with these things than everybody else, so people may think of this as an inverse head and shoulders. It's fine. Um, to me, an inverse head and shoulders is something like this, right? And then it breaks above this neckline here, and then that's where you buy it right there, and then you kind of ride it up. But what I see right here is not so much of this move, but more of a I don't know what you want to call it. It's not enough of an arch that I'm looking for right there. Um, but if you want to go off of this right now, it still is a breakout of sorts, so I think that'll be fine here. Let me see if I can do this properly. I tried to do it the other day, but I just hate using this specific tool for it. Um, what's that? No, I don't need. There's head and shoulders. So okay, so that's kind of what you're looking at. I don't know why it just hold on. Why does it do that every time? See, it should be getting all of these things kind of more more shade, so to speak. Um, but in my head, I'm using this breakout right here primarily. Okay. But you're using target 220. What I'd be looking at here first is my first scalar opportunity would probably start around here at 204, 205. And then what I'd be looking at next is to take off this dumb head and shoulders little pattern thing. And then I'd be tossing on the fib. Okay. So my first price target would probably be around 209, and then somewhere up here around 229 or so would be a good level of resistance up here. I would just be careful with it just because of some of the bad moves we had before. But if, this isn't the bottom as far as I'm concerned for the stock market, I still think we have a while to go down, but I'll take this bear market rally. However, whenever the market does fix itself back up again, I do think Netflix is going to be just fine. I think they're going to figure out a way to fix their culture there. I think they've had a lot of backlash for just kind of being, I don't know what you want to call it, woke. I don't know what the term is nowadays, but so I do think there's a good move here going on for Netflix right now. I would have liked to buy it specifically on the breakout here. So if you manage to get some calls on it, awesome. I wouldn't be chasing it too much right now. Maybe if we can break above the 204 level, 205 level, maybe I'd want to play it that way. But or maybe if there's a dip or something like that, I can kind of grab onto it. In the short term here, though, there's not really too many levels of resistance because we kind of gapped down pretty hard. The last time we were kind of by these levels, you can see we had a big surge, and the only level of resistance that we really had was right around here at 217 or so, right? So I think if you guys wanted to buy some Netflix and you guys are anticipating that this bear market rally continues, that's going to be very, very big here. My price targets would be going off of the Fibonacci extensions and hoping for anywhere. If I can just get a little box here, my selling zone would be anywhere in here. Okay, there you go. That would be my selling zone. 207 to 227. That's what I'd be scaling out of my positions. And probably I'd be scaling out just below that level as well, because usually one is the price target we're hoping for. That's the way I think about it. Anything above that is usually the gravy that makes you like, ooh, yeah, that was a really good trade. So I like it. I like it as a trade here. I wouldn't be chasing at this point. Maybe if we can manage to break back above this, it could be a short term trade, or not this level. What did I say? Right around here, yeah. Break above like 203 or something. That'd be nice to see. But then I would already start scaling out pretty soon within the $5, the $4 price hike from there. I'd be scaling out pretty fast. But I like it. Looks nice. Nice breakout there. As far as that, I don't think it's a head and shoulders, but I do like it there. Um, yeah, it's gonna be shoulder too. Yeah. Okay. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to do something, guys. I want Bitcoin to have some type of surge here pretty soon, and I think it can. But man, it's just taking forever. All right. Hey, you're watching this cute boy. There we go. And hey, RW, happy to see you back as well, man. Bullish on the future market. Looks like you'll be heading to Central America to live in paradise sooner than you thought. What do you call? If this, the sooner I can move down there, the better I'll be. For real, I am so tired. Like every day I help out like family stuff and I do like stuff around the yard and stuff like that. But when I move down to Nicaragua, it's just gonna be me like I don't know how to explain it. It's a calm and quiet life with me doing trading in YouTube. But when I'm not doing YouTube, when I'm not trading, I'm just going to be able to sit down with peace and quiet and do nothing. And it's going to be so nice. Um, and then because by then my mom's going to be back up to good shape, so she doesn't have to have me help her out, which is going to be awesome. She doesn't like me helping her out. She feels guilty about it, but I'm like, I'm your son. What am I else going to do, right? And then my next year, my sister goes to college, which is going to be really nice as well. We don't know where she's going yet, but she's scattering the freaking applications everywhere, right? And so once like the family's all good to go, I have no guilt about going off and doing my own thing. But I can't leave my mom kind of like while she's still in like physical therapy and stuff. I got to make sure she's good, make sure my sister's good off in college, make sure they have all their finances situated because I'm going to be giving them money as I kind of go to kind of make sure they can do whatever they want to. And then just making sure me and Loki can both get down to Nicaragua, get myself a nice little house, and from there, mwah, 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 it'll be good, right? Or at least rent a house. What my mom kind of put an idea in my head, and she says, Michael, if you want to have a perfect house, why don't you just rent out a house for a couple of years and then just have people build up the house, build the house. And so I'm thinking about that as well. It's kind of like the prevailing thought in my head, but I don't. I'd have to pay somebody to manage the building of the house because I have no idea what's going on, and I'd be so picky. I'd be like a Karen as far as getting my house built, which I think is justified if I'm spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I'd have to get a hot tub, all the good stuff, and then basically once I move down to Nicaragua, my hope is that well, it's not gonna be my hope. I already know tons of people are gonna visit me down there, but it'll just be like whenever a friend wants to come visit, they'll be able to come down and just chill for a while, and then they can go back home, whatever. But it'll be nice that way. I don't have to keep on traveling back up to the United States to see them, because like before COVID, I think I would average like 10 to 15 flights a year of going to see friends, and then then themselves coming over to see me. So lots of hanging out. But ever since COVID kind of came across, I don't travel hardly as much anymore, and I think it's just because I've got bored of traveling because of COVID, or I don't want to deal with every time I go flying, there's like a shortage of pilots, so my flight gets delayed, or I had to wait like 2 hours to get my bag, even though there was like no baggage people there. Oh god, yeah. Flying these days kind of sucks if you ask me. Even first class flying, which I do now, it sucks even more. Although the free booze, can't get past that. All right. And hey, Nico, hope you are good. We are ready for anything that comes for us. Yeah, guys, I mean, right now we're in a good position. We're just hoping that we can break out above those specific GANFin levels. Right now, you can see the blue line on the right side of your screen. That one's a pretty pesky one that we've managed to get above pretty well here. You can see it held us up for a few hours. Now, we've had a good opportunity to break out above it. Whales kind of helped us out after somebody tried to tank us there. But now our next level of resistance in the short term, guys, is really this GANFin level right here. I can get rid of this line now. We're just working our way up slowly to this other GANFin level at about $32,669. That's what I'm paying attention to. A good way to see this on this particular chart is, let me double check to see which GANFin level this came from, guys. That's the GANFin level going from the lows of 2000. So okay, there. me see if I can just add this on here very fast for us. That way you guys can see what they look like when they're kind of side by side. It does make a difference here. So these are the lows of there. So we just need to use the highs only. We only need the negative 45-degree angle one for this. So let's just pop up a vertical line right here. And this was the low for that year. We already have the high line right there. And what I let's open up a negative 45-degree angle. Oh, there it is. Okay. Glitched out a little bit, huh? Negative 45-degree angle. Let's go for $69,000 as well. And then what I'll have to do is, where's my GAN fan? Do I even have a GAN fan as a fast tip? No, I don't. Can add it there. And then, oh, it says my video to maintain a smooth stream. Let me know if I have enough, if the video is glitching or not for you guys. YouTube says it might be, but I don't see anything as of yet. Okay. Oh, gosh. All we're looking for, all we need is the 1-to-1 and the 2-to-1 for now. Nope, that's not the same one. Gosh, I don't know what the heck this is about here. 2-to-1 here. Because that's the same one as that. And that's the same as the low. Yeah, that is so weird. Okay, let me do something else. I don't know why I have so much trouble mimicking the same one. Because this one is accurate, but I just don't know why it's not the same as what I want it to be. Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to go too far into it. But that GANFriend level has been pesky for a while here. But just think about it in short term, guys. We're looking to break above 32,719. This is kind of that range that we talked about over the last few days where this is going to be a big level of resistance. I'm hoping if we don't break above this, this will be a great opportunity to add some short positions here. But right now, Bitcoin looks bullish enough where if the NASDAQ goes up tomorrow, we could have a big surge going up to at least 35,000, maybe even up to 38,000 over the next week or two. But for now, I'm kind of just hoping that we can finish off this $33,000 level, 32,600. If we can do that, then we're going to be looking at a pretty nice move up. Okay. Not the move I was looking for there. There we go. All right. Yeah, but I'll have to figure out what the difference is. It could just be the charts. Like I told you guys before, a Binance chart is different from a KuCoin chart, which is different from just a Bitcoin USD chart. I don't exactly know why. Well, I know exactly why, but I hate the fact that I use so many of these different charts. So I'll try to figure out more of it because you can see it. It honored the level of resistance up here, honored it, and then we're getting more resistance as we get towards that longer term one, going all the way back down to 2018 GANFriend levels. That's where this level of resistance kind of goes with, right? Uh, and hey, Ken, I've never seen a man so ready to peace out. Guys, I was taught when I was a kid, when I was dirt poor, if you work really hard, you can have the life you want. And then over time, I just realized that like I could buy a really nice house in downtown Seattle for for a lot of money, but it'd be like a really hut. It would be like a hut, right? Or I could just move somewhere else out of the country and live life however I wanted to do it. Because I'm a really peaceful guy. Like I really just like to chill out and do nothing. Perfect. Like I told you guys before. Redfin, Seattle. Here you go. Redfin, Seattle. I'll show you guys this very fast. So if I go over here and let's say East Queen Anne, nice area, right? So here's a house by a park. It's beautiful, probably, right? Okay, it's not a house just yet. um, okay, well, let me check out this house. Is this a house? There you go. I don't know if this. So, one of these houses is the house here. I don't know which house it is, but I could pay $1.4 million for this house right here, right? Or I can go to Nicaragua, go to this town I want to move to, San Juan de Sur town, excuse me, and then I could just get lot size largest. Let me see if I can find the house here. or I could buy literally a small hotel for $750,000 and just use all of those hotel rooms as my rooms. I'd probably plaster a whole bunch of stuff in and out of there. But like here, same price, a little bit cheaper. This one was 1.4 million. This is 1.3. Well, look at the quality difference. I mean, I would probably have to trash a lot of that stuff, honestly. That's fine. Look at the view of the water, big house, outdoor areas, pool. I'd just be much happy here. Now, personally, I don't like this house at all, but you get the value difference that I'm looking at. What is something that's more realistic? Here's one that's $600,000. Has a pool overlooking the water. Look at the little walkway view. Right? It's something I can be really happy with, except for I don't want a larger yard, but still, right? It's something I can be content with living there. And I really just do a whole bunch of renovations to the property anyway. But you know, who says I have to live my entire life in America? I think one of the beauties of going abroad so much and just kind of traveling a lot when I was younger, it really made me realize that, man, this American dollar, it might be kind of trash in the USA, but this American dollar, if I go anywhere else in the world, it's usually a pretty good thing to be having around versus the other country's currency. And so for that reason, I'm like, I could be peaceful down here, and if I ever wanted to, I could literally own like a small piece of property here in Tacoma. I could buy a condo. I'd buy a condo in Seattle, probably Tacoma, because I'm not going to spend a lot much money for it. But I could buy a condo in Tacoma for a few $100,000, have a house down there, and if I ever needed to come up here for a specific amount of time, I just come up here, stay in my condo, and I'll be happy. Besides that, I could probably pay somebody in my family to manage the condo like as an Airbnb for me, and I'd be happy with that, right? No problems whatsoever. It's things like that I came to realize, like, it's okay if I move out of the States. I like the States a lot. I'll be back a lot. But there's something about just being nice and happy and peaceful without it costing an arm and a leg. And, the taxes in other countries aren't nearly as high as America, which is kind of crazy. We have relatively low taxes compared to other countries, though, as well. But in Latin America, I'm going to be using up a lot of my money to just kind of help out the local economy by I'm going to hire all of my YouTube staff down there, and I'm going to train them all up, and I think it'll be really cool to see how I can help out a community and stuff like that. See how that works out. Iffy at this point in time, because I don't know exactly how the ecosystem works, but I'm looking for a translator down there pretty soon, or next yearish. All right. And hey, Ken, why not just have a little houses in multiple continents? That's my dream. I know a person that has that. It's not even big houses. They're all like 500 square feet houses, 600 square feet houses. What the guy does is he's a merchant seaman. So that basically, like, he's the guy that works on those large container ships, right? Large ships. And he doesn't actually have a solid home because he's traveling all around the world so often. He takes any job he can. And what he's been doing is just buying properties in any place that he usually stops at. So he has a house in the Caribbean. He has a house in Japan. Tiny houses. I'm not talking about big luxurious ones. He has one in Panama. He has one in not Zimbabwe. It's over by Australia. New Zealand. I don't know why. Zealand. So he has all these houses all over the place, and it's really, really cool to kind of check them out. But yeah, that's some of the cool stuff that I thought about. But I don't want to travel that much. I want to travel throughout South America, and I'm happy with it. I'll go other places as well, but as a good base of operations, Nicaragua, a little coastal town where you can have a lot of fun. It's nice and safe. There's not much crime. I'm happy with it. Now I just got to learn Spanish, but I'm fine with learning Spanish. It'll take some time, but Spanish was my first language apparently. Then I forgot it, so I'll get back in the hang of it eventually. And hey, Michael, I have my short set for that entry price. Your earlier video, just waiting. There you go. Just kind of wait it off right now. I'm waiting to short either around this level or now if we get like hammered hard, which I'm kind of waiting for the NASDAQ tomorrow. Or if we get up to at least 35, 38K, that's going to be a good shorting range as well. I do not think there's any chance we get above 38,000. I could be wrong, but I really just don't think we are. Because what we're having right now is kind of a pity rally just because Bitcoin's had 9 freaking red weeks. it's okay if we have 1 or 2 green weeks to kind of build up some faith again, to get some buyers in there before the whales try to dump us again, and therefore, really cause everybody to get really upset at the crypto market at once more. And hey, Moonshine, a lot of people like the Caribbean islands. I like the Caribbean islands too, but there's too much going on usually in the Caribbean for me. I like visiting the Caribbean, but man, it can be tiring living there. I stayed there for a month one time, and it wore on me. Um, Maybe because I didn't go to the quiet places that I like, but I do know Nicaragua, I think, is actually even cheaper than the Caribbean because the Caribbean has all that tourist money, so prices are a little bit more inflated. In Nicaragua, hardly anybody down there. There's a lot of expats from America and Canada. That's about it. I mean, you got the locals there as well, but you know, usually when there's a lot of expats, like a lot of foreigners in one location, they tend to buff up the security, all that type of good stuff, and that's what I really like. Um, And hey, Ryan, did I sort of move out of the country now? I decided like a few months ago, I think it was. I thought about getting a good piece of land here, but then I just kind of realized like I like to travel. I want to travel more in South America. I want to have a bigger house and then not have to worry about like no yard and stuff like that. So I'm either gonna buy a house down in Nicaragua or rent out a house with Loki, and then just buy build a house from scratch with a pool, master bedroom, a YouTube. I want to have a room specifically set up for YouTube, so it'd be one of those sound rooms, and I'll have like a little set, so all of my videos will look so nice and elegant and futuristic and whatever. I'm hoping for that type of stuff down there as well, but that's years in the process, guys. That's years in the making right there. Um, and hey, Moonshot, yeah, exactly. I'm waiting a while to buy. I'm waiting a while to buy, but I don't mind renting. Um, I got to figure out more about the real estate market in Nicaragua because right now, like, I'd be happy to pay any of those prices for any of those properties there. Like, I'd be really happy to pay for anything like that. Now, to be me, like for me, I gotta like, okay, fine, just wait it out, see what happens. The price will get a little bit better in the short term, and then I'll be fine there. I just want to pay the loan price, right? Or maybe by then do I have to actually have a loan? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I could just buy a house for cash for a few $100,000 and then live in that house while I'm building up the next house, off of a loan, off of building up the house. And then from there, I can just sell the house I would be living in and then just kind of use that money to pay off the rest of the mortgage. I don't know, right? With the property. Or, you know what I mean. There's a whole bunch of different things I can do, which would be pretty fun. Make it a very crypto friendly country. Nicaragua is pretty crypto friendly. I wanted to move down to Bolivia, but Bolivia doesn't like crypto, and they're also landlocked, which kind of irked me. But yeah, so I had to move away from that one. Oh, let's see. And there you go. And hey, Bideford. Oh, not talking to me. You guys talking about Canada. Okay. Let me go over here very fast. Looking at. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we are. All right. So let me check out one thing here very fast. Overall today, guys, not nearly the growth we saw yesterday. We have had a little bit more of a move from ADA as well. Keep track of that one. Anything else? Leo's up a teeny bit. Bitcoin Cash is up a teeny bit. Chainlink and XLM up a little bit as well. That's kind of nice to see. You're seeing flow down 6%. I'm not entirely sure why though. Overall, the week has been just okay compared to everything else. ICP still coming down here a little bit more. I'm wondering if ICP will have another good rally here sooner or later. But for the majority of stuff right now, guys, I'm okay with where a lot of these coins are at. I'm hoping we can have another big boom. Just understand that we have to deal with this resistance up here at about 32,700 or so. If we don't break above that, things are going to look pretty bad here, so just be careful. And on top of that, we've kind of reached the first selling zone here that we talked about over the past few days, that 37,000, or excuse me, no, we haven't. Actually, we haven't. The first big selling zone I talked about was 32,700. Yeah, that's kind of around this area. We're about 1,000 points off of it. So we'll see if we can consolidate a little bit longer or if we're just going to make a larger push up here eventually. Because the closest we got was 32,400. Then we kind of got taken down a little bit. But at least for now, we're trying to creep back up here bit by bit. And why? Oh, that's fine. Okay. There we go. But okay, everybody, I'll see you guys a little bit later tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We'll see what happens with crypto. Oh, that was interesting. I am going to go finish off my bear stew, and maybe as I eat bear tonight, maybe Bitcoin will pop during that move, so it'll be a little bit of a symbolic moment, okay? But until tomorrow, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the stream. relax. You know, there's a little bit of whale action happening right here, which is actually pretty interesting. But we'll talk again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks everybody, and please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. And if you guys want to